Boker Tov, good morning everybody, Shefa Baruch V'Atzluche, and we are now in parashat Toldot. One of the interesting things is the first pasuk. The first pasuk tells us, Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham, Avraham olid Yitzchak. Now, I'm sorry to tell you, if Yitzchak is the son of Avram, so definitely Avram is the one who is the father of Yitzchak. So why is the Torah telling us twice and in an opposite way? Once is Yitzchak, the son of Avram, and then Avram is the father of Yitzchak. Oh, not the father. Holid, give birth to Yitzchak, which is also a strange phrase, because who gives birth? The woman. Sarah gave birth to Yitzchak, not Avram. So what is the Torah trying to tell us? The Torah is not a story. It's much more than it. It's like the way we have to learn from all the things that are written, how to behave. And normally in life, when we say, he is the father of, so who is important in this case? The son. He is the father of the prime minister, is the father of this surgeon, is the father of this scholar, is the father of this famous rich guy. So the important guy in this phrase is the son. But when we say he is the son of, so he is the son of the prime minister, of the president, of etc., etc., etc. So who is important now? The father. Now, look what's written here. Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Yitzchak, the son of Avram. So who is important? Avram. Then the Torah tells Avraham olidet Yitzchak. Avram gave birth to Yitzchak. So who is important here? Yitzchak. So what is the Torah trying to tell us? And first of all, we have to understand what is olid. Why is it giving birth? So here, is written Letzanei Ador, all the jokers of the generation, they said, when they saw Sarah got pregnant, they said, this is from Avimelech. Why? Because so many years she was living with Avram Avinu and she didn't get pregnant. And now, after she's been with Avimelech, a few days later, wow, we see she got pregnant. So who is the father? Avimelech. And what was the proof? The proof was, when we look at the children of Yitzchak, we have Esav and Yaakov. So it says, if the father of Yitzchak was a tzaddik, and the mother, so it was Avram and Sarah Imeinu, so the son will give birth to tzaddikim, to tzaddikim, not to one evil guy Esav and the other one a tzaddik Yaakov. But because the father is not Avram, the father is who? Avimelech. That's why we have one son a tzaddik, one son an evil. We have Yaakov and Esav. That's Ele Toldot. That's why it's written Ele Toldot, the descendants of Yitzchak. Anyway, what did God do? God made the Yitzchak a spitting image of his father Avram. In other words, everybody knew that Avram is the one who gave birth to Yitzchak. He is the father, and not only Sarah is the mother, because he was a spitting image of Avram Avinu. Wow, that's the first thing. Then, when we talk about the importance of fathers and sons and children, there is this connection. We have to understand that the connection between a father and a son, between the generation, is very, very important. And we see it, how it happens today, when we lose this connection and it's not the same as it should be. Look what's going on here. Look around us. Instead of taking the Torah of our fathers and giving it to our sons, unfortunately, we have a lot of people in our generation that don't know anything about tradition, about where we came from. And unfortunately, that's also what they're doing with their children. And the Torah is telling us, Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham, in order to give the right message, we need to get the generation before and transfer the knowledge to the next generation. And Avram Avinu got to a level, Olid, what is Olid, gave birth, he got to a level in chesed, in love, in mercy, to a level that it was a part of his genes. And he was giving this through birth to his children, till our generation. We have this, how do you say, this love, this power of mercy, of chesed inside us. The generosity of the Jewish people, the humbleness of the Jewish people, the the Jewish neshama. This is all apart from Avraham Avinu, because he got to a level of Avraham Avi. He was the one who got to a level of love to God in the highest way that it can, that it become a part of him and transferred to us. And about learning, Mikol melamdai iskalti. There is a very important point. We, of course, first of all, have to learn from our fathers. Ele Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. First of all, learn from the fathers. Then, don't forget, we can also learn from our sons, for our children. And I can give you an example. A very simple example. I am, it's not nice to say, but I'm getting very angry sometimes. And kas. And when in our business with customers, you have customers that you cannot believe sometimes what they do and on what they complain. And for example, I told you a few times about it, like this guy came with a weight, how you weight your suitcases, this weight thing, and he was weighting this chair. He says, what are you doing? Says, it's not the same weight as the chair I got. This is shtanz. This is chairs. You make thousands of chairs the same way with the same machine. Anyway, or somebody came, he bought a table that is with you see the eyes of the wood on it. The eyes, that the wood has eyes. And this lady phones the next day, says, take the table away because there are two eyes in the table that they are looking at me the whole night. What do you answer those people? And this is now like a little, and some they come with complaints and they have this. Now I haven't got the patience, and I'm getting very quickly agitated and angry, and I can throw those customers and it's wrong. It's not the right way. My son Nathaniel, wow, they can come shouting, and he speaks nicely and softly, and I look at him and I see unbelievable, a lot to learn from my son. And I'm trying to go in his footsteps. I'm not very successful. I'm trying. And the best thing is, my granddaughter, when she was at the first grade, how much is that? 5 years, and she, one day I got angry, and she says, Saba, al titragez, don't get angry. Kach neshima amuka, take a deep breath and come down. This little pitzkel is telling me, but that's nothing. One day I'm getting a video from my daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter, at this age of 5 around it, is showing grapes on a leaf, like they have 4 grapes up. She's holding them up, and on the other side of the thread, or whatever you call it, is one grape. And she said, you see, the 4 grapes are the good deeds, and the 1 is the bad deeds. So the good deeds are winning. This is just to understand. Mikol melamdai iskalti. We can learn from everybody, and if we're open-minded, we can do this. And this is very important to understand. This is what the Torah tells us. First of all, of course, Sh'al avicha ve'agetcha zkenecha. Ask your father and your great father, and they will tell you what is the right way to go. But you can also learn from your children and your grandchildren. And the most important thing is this combination. When we look at Akedat Yitzchak, it's written, every time that Avram is with Yitzchak, is written Yachdav, together. When they're going on the way, and he goes with the two guys, and it's not written Yachdav, it's not written that they're going together. Only when he goes by himself with, you can check it, with Yitzchak, it's written Yachdav, together. So this is when they go on the way to the mountain of the mountain of Moriah. Avram is going to sacrifice his son Yitzchak, and they're going Yachdav together. Then Yitzchak is asking him, where is the Sela Olah? Where is the lamb that we're going to do sacrifice? He says, Elokim yareh lo aseh lo olah bni. And in other words, he tells him, you know, if you don't see, it means that it's you. And the Torah tells it, Vayelchu yachdav. They are still going together, yachdav, together. Then, when it all ends, and then going back, is written again yachdav, but Yitzchak is not there. So is he there or is not there? So one of the beautiful explanations says that he is there. But after Akedat Yitzchak, this test, they got to a level that they were united as one. The same is written with Moshe Aaron. Hu Moshe ve'Aaron, hu Aaron u Moshe. It's written hu Aaron u Moshe in singular and not in plural. There are two. They said Hem Moshe ve'Aaron. And one Moshe is before and the other time Aaron is before. To tell us that Moshe and Aaron at that stage got to be equal. And there are a lot of things to say. And there are a few examples on this. But the idea here is that Avram and Yitzchak had this bond, this unbelievable bond. That with this bond, Yaakov came to the world. Also Esau, but Yaakov, he is the one who is our father's emitato shlema. And this came from the combination of Amud HaChesed, Avram, and Amud HaGvura, the Yitzchak. And together, they brought to the world, with this special bond, they brought to the world Yaakov. But I want to talk about another point, an interesting point. When we see that when we go on, there is a lot to talk about our parasha, but I want to talk about water. Vayigdal Aish, and what Yitzchak was very prosperous. He had wealth and he had cattle and property and everything. And then the Torah says this: all the wells that they were digging when the days of his father Avram, the Palestine, they how do you say, they fill them up and finish them, and with sand. So what is Yitzchak doing? He is re-digging those wells, digging those be'erot, and then he also is digging new ones, and they have a fight on them. But he doesn't give up. He digs again and again and again till it's gone. What is the Torah trying to tell us? That sometimes, what is water? Water is Torah. Sometimes in life, you know, you learn something, you do something, you start something, and it doesn't go, so you say, you give up. Never give up. Never give up. That's what Yitzchak is telling us. If you go again and again and again, eventually you will get it. You will win it. And this is exactly also when you learn Torah. And sometimes it's very difficult. Learn it again and again, till it will go in. The same way, to spread the message of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, our ancestors, to spread the message. Sometimes we see they don't listen. Do it again. Dig it again. One of the best samples is when, you don't maybe remember, but let's say 40 years ago, Eilat. Eilat was a place that maybe you had 1 or 2 or 3 kosher restaurants. No synagogues, no thing. Like it was a place of holiday, and I don't want to talk about anything else. Today, when you go to Eilat, so many synagogues and so many kosher restaurants, and it's unbelievable. How did it happen? Because there were there people like Yitzchak. They were digging, and the others were putting in dust and sand and talking against and stopping it. But they digged again and again and again and again, and till they had a big success. But if, let's imagine that they were fighting against them, against the synagogues and the religion, as I said, adata, adata. And they were, let's say, covering and all the whales, the water of the Torah, and they will give up. So Eilat would be the same as it was years ago. But they didn't give up. They were hearing everything, and they tried to stop them and try to close those whales, but they dig it again and again and again. And when we're talking about water, there is this famous story about this professor. He comes to his the first lecture to this group of people, and he's got a big aquarium on his desk, and he's got stones and rocks nearby. The students don't understand what it is. They've got they're not going to learn here anything that connect with the aquarium or stones, but he tells the students, look, he takes the stones, puts them in the aquarium till it's filled up with the stones and the rocks. He says, is it full, the aquarium? He says, yes, of course it's full. Then he takes a bag of small stones, chatzatz, I don't know how you call it in English. You know, the small stones. And he pours them in, and they go in between the big rocks. He says, till it's full up. He says to the student, now is it full up? He says, yes, definitely it's full up. They all shout, full, full, full. Then he takes a bag of sand, and he pours the big bag of sand into this aquarium, which is already filled up with the rocks, with the stones and the small stones, and the sand goes in. Now he's asked no, Vodiosa says, wow, now definitely it's full. You cannot put anything more in. He takes the bottle of water, big bottle of water he had on his desk, and he pours the whole bottle of water into this aquarium. And he tells them, here is a big lesson for you. Sometimes you will think, I cannot take it anymore. You can. You will see the way there was the rocks, then the stones, and then the sand, and then the water. And there is a big lesson here. What is water? Water is Torah. Sometimes we cannot, it's hard. We go after all the lust and the beautiful materialistic things of the world, and we fill ourselves up with the stones and with rocks, with nothing, with sand. The big lesson is, even if you filled up with all the nonsense of this world, you can still take the water and pour it in. You can still pour the water in, the water of the Torah, and it will get in and go into every corner. And this is one of the big lessons. So we have to take it from Avram and Yitzchak, this bond they have after they had this Akedah, that it become one. And Avram is the father, that his son is learning from him everything he has to learn. And Avram is also learning from his son, from this special bond, that we, first of all, have to learn from the generations before us. And then, don't forget to give the message to the next generation. And sometimes there are things that we can learn from the next generation, as I told you with my grandchild. And even if we see this world is full up with rocks and stones, with nonsense, with stupid things, with materialistic things, don't forget, the water of the Torah have a power to go in, and let's pour this water inside us and influence all the others. All the best.